Before I start talking about the run up, I will say that I'm only going to give you a small percentage of what I know about it because I plan to make a much more detailed video. First, I'll touch upon the little shuffle that the pros do. Well, personally, I do it because it loosens my whole body in a very confined space and it allows me to feel where my weight is at, which I quickly try to get to my left side. And then throughout the whole run up, right now I'm focused on my weight being on my left side. I'm focused on staying loose, so my body weight is heavy and feels heavy on the left side. And this whole time, I'm just trying to kind of stay straight up with my posture or lean back even a tad bit just to make sure that my weight is centered on this side. As I'm running, this is it right here. I am on the ball of my foot and I am balancing. This is a balancing act. That is what it has become for me. And that's what I see when I see Paul Macbeth and them do it as well. So I'm on the ball of my foot and I'm balanced. All the weight is on my left leg. The weight at this point in time is still all on my left leg, and I'll just tell you what it feels like right now in this moment. I'm balancing while trying to reach my leg, slowly reach it to position while staying balanced, because that gives time for this to reach back and this to move forward. I know it's all complicated, but once you figure it out, it's actually a lot easier. I'm still right there, weight still on my left leg. And I'm still just reaching out with a loose leg. I'm staying loose. I'm reaching. I'm trying to reach. And this is why Paul Macbeth and the pros have such a wide reach. And they say, a lot of people teach not to stretch your legs wide. Well, on my furthest throws, I stretch wide too, because you need time to stretch the rubber band back and stretch the rubber band forward to make this double move and all this timing to happen. So you stay balanced on this left leg as long as possible while Paul Macbeth reaches his leg super far, and then once it hits, turns the hips, all that length of the legs and the arm going back, it just gives you so much more time with a much faster run up with much more momentum. It's something you have to really feel out. But for now, as of right now, my foot is now touching. I can still feel almost all my weight on this left leg balanced, like completely balanced. I'd say now that my foot is planted and I'm at full reach back, my weight feels like it's on this side of my body. Now my hip's about to turn. Okay, my hip started to turn. My weight is now, it's that simple. My weight is transferred to my right leg. The hip turn, you get your legs in the right spot and your weight in the right balance. The moment you turn your hips, it transfers the weight automatically. You don't have to think about it. It's that quick of a weight transfer. That's why the legs, when you look at pros, their legs make that, inverted shape on both sides. And how it transfers so quickly is they don't try to transfer the weight. They just turn the hips, and that transfers where your weight is at. And the fact that you're moving down the T-pad, that'll make it to where your weight it so easily goes to your right foot. And you don't have to really think about bracing or force a brace. The brace just happens if you do the rest of it naturally. So now all the weight is on my right leg, and everything can't be stopped at this point because I can't feel my arm. Like once the slingshot happens, when you do it the way that I'm teaching, you don't ever feel your arm. You feel this like boom, this like hitch, like yank almost right there. And then from there on, you don't feel anything. Your arm it goes so fast that you cannot like try to help it. You can't like try to swing your arm fast the second time, or like halfway through and try to accelerate your arm. It's really hard to do that because it's already accelerating so fast from the very peak of the reach back. Boom, the rest of it's just too hard to control. It's just going so fast. All right, this is the first form that I'm going to critique here, this throw. Not a good throw. So I'm probably trying too hard for one. My body's probably not as loose as it should be, especially because I put the camera up and I'm trying. There's a little more pressure to throw well because I'm trying to teach people how to throw. So it just adds a layer of stress right there. So my body probably needs to relax so that I could. It's not really about how fast I run up. It's about how I control my weight as I run up. If you look right here, the disc is level. Like it should be either there or here even. Like a little down. Like if you go look at Simon Lizotte on his reach back, the disc is usually pointing down. Like right there instead of even. And here's a problem I have. So the mouse is kept on even right here, on level. See how it's went above the mouse? That should not look like that. And it gets even worse for me here. So that is not good. And this is something I struggle with. I'm not 100% sure why it happens, but when I consciously try to keep the disc level or keep it at that angle I was talking about, where Simon Lizotte keeps it, I get a lot more distance. I can throw much further, and that's when I can start pushing 550, sometimes even a little further, depending on how much tailwind I have, because I have to have some tailwind. It's making my elbow drop. My elbow should be a little more even up here, and the disc should be a little more below the elbow. Even if you can't see it, it's like the disc is above the elbow, which this causes nose up a lot. That just doesn't look right. But here's something interesting that happens with my throw is I somehow always recorrect it. Like now it's recorrected, but you see it just went back to that spot. I somehow get it back to that spot every time. The problem is when I have to recorrect it, I'm losing distance in that recorrection. I don't know if it's because I'm tensing my muscles to be able to do that. I'm not entirely sure what's happening, but I know it's messing with the release angle of the disc. Look at how wobbly that is. That's a little too wobbly. All right, another problem that I really struggle with is coming out of the shot, lifting my head, lifting my body, getting out of the perfect position that I want to be in. Like I probably wanted to throw a hyzer here, and I've not quite been over, but you can just see that my body kind of just straightens itself out a lot. Like I'll start off in like more of a hyzer position and I'll just come out of it. It's just a bad habit. I've lifted my head here. I should be pointed down more. I should be more disciplined because your head is what controls your whole body. Literally, your head's in the right position. You have a much better chance of your rest of your body being in the right position. That's one thing I learned is that the head is everything. A better throw. It doesn't go like really far or anything, but it's just a good line drive. It's a golf line. I hit a good golf line here. Pretty overstable katana. Probably the most overstable katana I've ever thrown. Katana's my favorite disc. The reach back is just really well timed. The double move is well timed. You can see my left arm moving in before my reach back comes back all the way back, and that starts my explosive hip turn so that when I do turn my hips, the arm is still on the way back, so it yanks the disc at the end there, the hitch that I talk about in my 10 videos. So the double move is everything. That's where the timing is. And that's full reach back. I'm just really happy with that. Everything seems to be in good position to me. Lift it up a little. As you can see, this is something I really struggle with, but this is not detrimental. It's not like up here. You can't see the top of the disc. And I recorrect it pretty quickly, and my elbow feels like it's in a decent spot. See right now, that just feels good to me.